delivery model. In this webinar, we will explore how you can craft a sustainable, fully integrated digital ecosystem of e-services and how to enhance your internal system with digital advancements that spur a stronger digital economy to benefit your institution, businesses, people, and communities. Now, I will ask our guests from Microsoft and Lean Development to introduce themselves. Mr. Mazen.
Thank you, Asser, for having me in this great webinar about our citizens. My name is Mazen Fayyad. I'm the government industry lead for Microsoft Middle East and Africa. I'm not new to the government business. I've been serving citizens and governments in various positions for around 17 years before joining Microsoft. So happy to be part of this journey with governments and make sure that we are fulfilling all their business requirements with the right digital capabilities. Thank you.
Thank you, Asser, for the introduction. My name is Ahmed Abdelhamid. I'm the General Manager for the Digital Services. I'm heading the Delivery, Engineering, and Products team for the past 2 years, working on multiple open source and Microsoft technologies, with a portfolio of services such as portals, mobile apps, workflow automation, enterprise integration, data integration, machine learning, agile, and DevOps.
Thanks, Ahmed. Thanks, Mr. Mazen. And thanks for your participation in this important webinar today. And I want to thank you all for taking the time out of your day to join us for this interesting conversation. For your convenience, we will be recording the session for your future reference. And a thank you email will be followed containing a link of the session recording. Your active participation is important throughout the session. Right now, I have put everyone on mute to avoid background noises that may distract you from listening to the webinar. Throughout the presentation, someone on staff will be managing the chat functionality. You can enter your questions and comments in the question box throughout the presentation. During the Q&A session, if you'd rather ask in person, you can also use this icon on the meeting control panel to raise your hand to indicate that you have a question or comment. Once you raise your hand, someone will unmute your line so that you can ask your question. Accordingly, let's explore today's agenda. We've just did the welcome notes, and following on that, we'll be having the Citizen and Government Services Excellence session conducted by Mr. Mazen Fayyad. In this session, we will explore how technology can empower government to promote citizen well-being, influence positive societal change, and enhance government service. Followed by that, a roadmap for the now and the future is going to be conducted by myself, Asser Ramadan. In this session, we will try to understand best practices that can craft sustainable digital services in the public sector and explore multiple case studies and feel the positive impact on citizens, employees, processes, and service business models. The last session would be jump on how you can show and demo ServeBig in a very short brief, and this is going to be conducted by Mr. Ahmed Abdelhamid. He's going to give us a walkthrough for ServeBig, an end-to-end solution for jump-starting and enhancing government systems, empowered with cloud, AI, and advanced analytics. Now, as I think Mr. Mazen Fayyad, you have been on the other side of such discussion tables, providing your experienced opinion and consultations to various customers across the Middle East before joining Microsoft, as you just mentioned. With that wealth of experience, how can you advise our audience on what governments need to do to bring more value to their citizens?
Thank you, Asser. Look, if we look back on the governments across many different countries and regions worldwide, their core priority is how to serve their citizens better, how to make their life much easier and simpler, how they can provide a continuous improvement to the services that they are providing to the different citizen profiles. So citizen has been always in the heart of any government strategy and profile. If we look back over the past 9 months, from the beginning of the pandemic, we have seen that the digital transformation journey across all the different government entities has been accelerated dramatically. So during that period, we have been able to engage as a Microsoft and as a technology provider with many government entities to set the right rhythm of connection and rhythm of business value creation and in a quantifiable way to serve the business requirements in an agile way. So we need to look at this from two folds. What the citizens want from governments, especially in the digital world that we are living in right now. They need governments to be very responsible and very responsive to their business requirements, agile, scalable. Are they making citizen engagements easy, simplified, provide the services in agile manner? Are they open for all the different profiles of citizens, regardless of their current occupation, regardless of their current behaviors and physical and mental health and everything? People with disabilities, special needs, diverse type of customers and citizen profiles, how they are able to cater for the government services across all the different citizen profiles, how effective they are able to engage with the different citizens, and having a clear 360 view about their preferences, about their needs, and how this can be integrated across all the different types of government services related to employment, well-being, improvement, digital skillings, and many others. How they can make sure that they are able to tap into the different government services whenever they want. Although, how they can obtain and gain all those services in a very secure, reliable delivery mechanism. As we know, citizen information considered as a profile confidential for them, not to be shared unless we have a clear concept from the citizens, how we can provide them with a trusted framework to cater for all those services, how we can make their life much easier, reducing their daily cost of life by providing them a single source of service provisioning without duplicating the efforts required by the citizens. And from the other angle, if we looked at the government, what really the government want to achieve during the crisis time or even after the crisis time, how they can maintain the innovation and improvement across the different digital transformation initiatives and their change journey. We have seen that there is a lot of challenges happening with many governments by connecting with different technology providers, different solution developers to develop digital solutions that can serve a specific business requirements without looking how this can be integrated with other solutions already in place. So avoid silo solutions and build an ecosystem end-to-end that serve in a very seamless, personalized environment to the citizen has been a key and top priority for all the government entities. If we looked also what happens during the pandemic and COVID-19, social distance and new guidelines, we have been looking at the journey from respond, recover, and reimagine. How the government would classify and categorize the sort of services that they are providing to the different citizens profile as a response to all the services that has been impacted by the COVID and the pandemic. Although how they can equip the government with the recovery model across all the different type of services based on the right digital platforms, and reimagine by bringing innovation to the front line, how they can help them to accelerate the business transformation and provide them with the right prediction tools. Although how they can maintain hosting all those solutions on a reliable digital platform. This digital platform has to be focused 100% on citizen services during and after the pandemic. How we can bring all the communities, startups, developers, citizens to participate in reopening the country economy. And this has been a key and for all the governments, especially that they want to bring their economy back on track and even enhance their productivity, capitalizing on all the digital initiatives that they have started. Setting the strong digital backbone across all the citizen services, regardless, look at it as the human body, how we can equip the government with digital nervous system that connect all the different preferences and pieces across the country, across a very fixed integrated data layer where those data can be exchanged and shared across the different departments within the government, across all the different service providers within the governments, with a clear monitoring and performance measurements by the business stakeholders and the leadership within the government. How we can continuously identify areas for continuous improvements and innovation, bringing the employees of every government to be part of this innovation process. How we can leverage the massive amount of data, because this is the true asset that we have within any government entity as source of any future innovation. Having said that, what do we see from a citizen services capabilities perspective? If we really want to achieve the highest possible value across any government entities, we need to structure and look at the different services capabilities and map this to the different solutions that we are offering. Today, later, we will hear a lot from Asser and Ahmed about the different services capabilities that will be provided through our solutions. Although how this can be an open platform to integrate with any even future capabilities and future services that the government entity should have. It doesn't have to be a new, also with the existing capabilities, how we can bring an umbrella that can provide a single source of truth across all the different government services in a very simple way. Time is a closure. How we can bring the sense of urgency by landing this the soonest. We will see here different services capabilities as much as we are able to push and accelerate our transformation journey across any government entities based on the right digital capabilities, regardless of the technology provider, regardless of the legacy applications with the right application modernization needed. But it's a must that we have the right standards, the right integration tools, the right adoption mechanism to make sure that employees are on top of every single service provided. This is the futures that every government entity are seeking to achieve. Microsoft started our journey not only from a digital and technology lens only, but we have put a new industry lens, a new industry lens that has been identified across all our existing products, solutions with our partners. Why? To cater for the business requirements coming from the business decision makers, not only to maintain the support for a digital and product capabilities, and we deliver that through our partners' ecosystems. Our connection with LinkDev across many government entities has been identified and focused from a citizen services perspective to meet the high demand coming from government, especially around the remote governance access perspective. We have seen many governments has announced that they are putting remote governance as their top priorities, and eliminating many of the physical contact centers that citizen has to go and to perform, to achieve, to acquire the government services they need, and replacing that with the digital channels. How we can utilize the platforms and technology to serve the main requirement of moving all the physical interactions to digital. How this can reflect on the high performance and high productivity of the field workers, the leadership through the insights and predictions about what the citizens needs to achieve. Although if we really need to build the right integration layer across the different government entities, we have put another industry priority scenarios through empowering cross-agency collaboration through data exchange, data sharing, how we can make sure that every service that has been identified as part of the complete service hub or a services, government services marketplace are properly integrated and connected with others. It's mandatory that we should provide all this in a very trusted and secure service through the different hosting techniques, but making sure that we are giving the right visibility to all the government stakeholders to make sure that none of those confidential information will be leaked or hacked, and it's an accountability through Microsoft and their partners to maintain and provide such a services in a very secure and compliant environment based on the existing current countries' laws and regulations. Moving forward, if we looked how Microsoft has been perceiving how the government integration and priorities should look at, we look at the development communities through our partners' ecosystems, new startups, developers, citizen engagements as a source of innovations to bring our services to the front line. We have identified priority solution portfolios focused on citizen identity, well-being, remote assistance, crisis management, virtual hearing and virtual courts, citizen services, and many others. When we start any initiatives, we need to understand exactly where we are heading, what do we really need to achieve, and how we can host all the different solution portfolios based on the right agile technical capabilities needed on the right platform. We need to leverage the power of cloud by meeting the business requirements based on the different seasonalities, based on the different business requirements according to the crisis that we are facing, although complementing this with a clear framework through the business requirements coming from government entities, private sector, the citizens, leveraging the emerging technologies through augmented reality, blockchain, IoT, and many others. This is what utopia for the government services has to be, but putting data as a mandatory source of innovation and start by landing the right view of how the citizen services hub should look like without disrupting the existing operating model, by integrating with it and making sure that there is a continuous plan of an improvement and modernization for the legacy applications till we have a fully integrated end-to-end ecosystem that serves our citizen business requirements and our citizen needs. Thank you. I'm going to hand it over to Asser to share with us what LinkDev has to achieve. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mason, for taking this valuable wisdom, and this is what actually we're going to build upon it in the remaining session. So the next session, which is going to be talking about the eServices. As you must all know, in the past 2 decades, the Middle East governments have been at the forefront of pioneering digital transformation efforts in the region. Today, the results of this incredible digital transformation journey are clearly manifested in an engaged citizen, fully automated public service, a thriving economy, and a steady flow of foreign investments. Accordingly, this is what we need to explore, the digital transformation journey. It's instrumental to explore this journey and know and discuss how CIOs, CXOs, and decision makers can fully transform their business processes into digitally automated solutions using the power of the cloud and AI. Just to look about what are the main aspects of the digital transformation, you need to leverage 2 main traits: building an intelligent platform and reinventing the productivity and business processes at the same time, which is quite difficult. Engaging your citizen is a much more thought of pillar, where you need to focus on the citizen experience, how you manage their data, how you manage their experience across different channels. Empowering your government employees, how you can increase their productivity and promote more collaboration and provide them adequate tools to provide mobility on the go. How you can optimize your government operations and provide what we call intelligent analytics, where you can see more operational insights through interactive reports and dashboards. And finally, this will lead you to create new innovative value-added services. We can focus more on the value rather than on the task. So by increasing the citizen value, you get to, let's say, adopt more services by the citizen and by the public. If we look at the main 5 technology trends affecting the digital transformation of public and private sectors, one of the big 4 consultation companies has identified 5 technology trends that reshape markets by creating new digital ecosystems, and found that leading businesses and governments in the Middle East have new strategies and projects in place to, let's say, capitalize on the digital transformation opportunity in place. The main 5 trends are the Internet of Means, which is changing the way people around the world interact through technology, placing the end user at the center of every digital experience. The digital devices on the edge are empowering our actual outcome economy and enabling a new business model that shifts the focus from selling things to selling the result. And again, this would lead to what we call the platform revolution, that reflect how digital platforms are becoming the tools for choice for building new generation products and services, an entire ecosystem in the digital and physical world. It's not only something online, it's online and offline. Building on that and providing what we call an intelligent enterprise, it's making what we call intelligent systems, intelligent machines, embedding software intelligence in every aspect of the business to drive new levels of operational efficiency, evolution, and innovation. Finally, workforce reimagined is how you can assess your workforce, how you can assist your workforce, how you can provide more natural human interfaces, wearable devices, and smart machines that can complement the experience that you provide to your citizens, in addition to provide the accessibility feature, like having any accessibility feature within the system, how you can help people with disabilities, and accordingly, getting them to be a team member of the whole platform, working alongside with the employees. This is just a brief outlook that we just discovered in the latest IDC covered market index survey that was initially conducted earlier in October, where we can find that there is a staggering need in accelerating existing digital services and digital transformation initiatives. Even a lot of people are thinking about implementing new digital initiatives and to meet the changing needs. Although everybody would think about that this would go into keeping everything on a hold or something like that. This is not the case. Everybody in the terms of change are looking for an accelerator. So what is the main objective of this platform that we need to focus on? This is how to create and increase value to citizens, and how you can adopt this platform to manage service delivery in a very organic approach, or how you can enable partners to share more data and exchange data to maximize the citizen value, and how you can empower your employees in interacting more efficiently with the newly automated platform. Finally, this is what the benefit, this is what you're going to get. The system is going to be more scalable, the customer experience will be enhanced, the compliance with the regulatory authority is a matter of providing compliance with the CRA, the DSG, improving the delivery services, providing an easy integration, providing a higher return on investment, eliminating repetition and redundant processes, and improving the business process automation, and finally leading to a major cost reduction. Have we done this before? Yes. In several entities across the Middle East, through KSA, Egypt, Africa, and UAE, we've automated several governmental and non-governmental agencies to leverage the power of the cloud. There's a lot of logos here that you can relate to, starting from regulatory authority, executive entities, and even regular governmental municipalities as well. So not to take more of your time, just to leave more time for the demo, I'm handing over to Ahmed, and let's say, Ahmed, how we can implement such a platform? Can you show us an example?
Yeah, thank you, Asher, for the details. Let me share my screen. Okay, now we will have a deep dive regarding the solution feature. Actually, our solution is a full-fledged digital business platform that helps our customers to complete the digital transformation journey. The solution is called ServeBig Suite, and it has three main components. The first one is automation, and this is the eServices and workflow automation part. The second component is the inspection component, and this is for quality checks, standards, compliance, and safety regulations. And the third one is appointments, and this is for booking appointments, queue management, along with all the related configurations. This is the solution at a glance. We have in the core components, we have three main components. The first one is the workflow engine that is being used for the automation part, and the form builder that is being used for building forms easily and quickly. And the third one is the submission framework, which is a collection of components and features that facilitates building the complete platform for the automation. We have so many other components as well, like the service catalog. This one lists all the information about the services, the document management for documents storage and versioning, the administration workspaces. This is for employees to manage their tasks and configure the system, the citizens workspaces, and this is for the citizens to submit their requests and follow up on them later. The identity management for authentication, authorization, and single sign-on. The case management for complaints, feedback, and inquiry. The customer 360 this is a 360 view for customers to list the profile details, the transactions, and all the activities that have been done by the customer. The robotics process automation for integration, migration, and repetitive tasks automation. The reports and dashboards, and this is for more data insights and better decision making. And finally, the machine learning and the recommendations engine for predictions and forecasts. On top of these core components, we have some applications like the self-service portal. This is for the citizens to submit their e-services. The back-end portals for the employees, and both portals are exposed on mobile browsers through responsive portals. And we have as well two types of mobile apps. We have the native mobile apps and the progressive mobile apps. This is as well as the chatbot. All these applications are exposed through so many channels. So definitely one of them is the computers and laptops. The second one is the smart devices like mobile and tablets. They are exposed as well through the USSD, IVR, and on the social media like Twitter, Facebook, and the other social media channels. We have as well a horizontal components for the logging and exception handling, where we have an audit trail in the system that logs each and every action that has been done on the system, and this will give us more insights and will let us be able to generate more data analytics. In addition to the last part related to the integration, the system integrates seamlessly with some systems like the SMS gateway, the push notification, and the email integrations. And this is in addition to any third-party integration systems that may exist at the customer side. These are the main components of the platform. We will focus during our demo on the self-service portal. So let's go to the demo. This is the self-service portal for the citizens. So this is the home screen. First of all, you will see the online services. This is the service catalog, where you will find all the services are listed here. You will have the filtration criteria to filter the service according to your needs. So let's take a scenario when the user will submit a request for a new commercial license. So first of all, the citizen will click on the service details. Here you will find the service card. In the service card, you will find all the details that you need for the service. So first you will find the description, the prerequisites, the required documents, the service license agreement to show you how many days will be taken to complete the service, the policies and procedures, the fees that will be paid by the user, the templates that may be needed by the user to download them and then fill them in, and finally the terms and the conditions. So for any service, the user has two main actions. Either to book an appointment, and this appointment can be online or physical, and in case the appointment is physical, the user can go to the customer service center to submit the request physically, or the user can submit the request online. So let's take the scenario for submitting the request online. The user will click here on the apply. Once the user click on the apply, these screens comes out of the box with the solution. The first part is the requester information, and this one is retrieved from the profile by default. And we have so many other features that exist out of the box in the solution. Like, for example, the user can save the request to draft. This is in case the user didn't find all the inputs that he wants to submit ready. In this case, he can save as draft and then continue later. He can use the next and previous to navigate through the different forms that we have. And here you will find some details regarding the service. The citizen as well can submit the request for him or on behalf of another citizen. So in this case, he can click on change to fill on behalf, select the other citizen, and then click on fill on behalf. We will find that the profile details has been changed to the new citizen that have been selected. Then the user will go through the application forms to submit the request. The second step will be the request form. And this form is actually the form that will vary according to the service type. So this is the form, for example, for the new commercial license. In case we have another service, another form will be placed here. The user shall fill in all the details and then click next. What we see now on the screen is the attachments. Actually, this is configurable. We have an administration screen to configure what are the attachments that are required in each service, what are the file types, and whether these attachments are optional or mandatory. And accordingly, the attachments are shown in the screen. Let's, for example, upload a document. We have a document wallet saved in the system. So any documents that will be uploaded by the user are saved in the document wallet so that the citizen can select them later. Click on Add, and then go to Next. One of the important features of the solution is that for any service type, you can have multiple application forms for the same service. So once this is configured on the system, the application forms will be shown dynamically as tabs here. So for example, in the new commercial license, we need to have the request form, and these are some details about the license, and we need to add as well the partners. So we'll find that the partners form appeared here, so the user can click on Add Partner, fill in all the details, and then click Add. Finally, after the user has filled in all the details, the user can click on Apply. Once we click on Apply, the system will submit the request to the back office and generate a unique ID for the user to track the request later. Let's go to the workspaces. The workspaces is a dashboard for the citizen to manage his requests. So we will find the requests. We will find here all the draft requests that have been submitted before and all the requests that have been either completed or still in progress. We will find the tasks, and these are the requests that have been submitted by the citizen and pending on him to take an action. And these are the appointments that the user has done before, and the documents that have been generated by the system or uploaded by the user before. And finally, the payments, where you can find all the payments transactions along with the total amount. So let's take a scenario that the request that has been submitted has been sent to the back office, but the back office employee found that there are some missing documents. So the back office employee will change the status back to pending on modification, and in that case, a notification will be sent to the citizen notifying him that the admin requested notifications on the last request. Then the citizen will open the request, and he will find a new section appeared that is called the request history. In the request history, we list here all the steps that has been done before. So we will find that the request has been created by the citizen, and then the back office employee changed the status to requested notification. When we open the history, we will find that the administrator has mentioned two comments. The first one is regarding the requester information. He mentioned, please add the exact location of your company. And the second one is a comment in the request form, please add the original paper of your certificate. So the citizen will go to the profile to update the work address, and then click Save. And then go to the request form, attach the missing document. Let's say that the document is computer, and then the citizen will submit the request again for modifications. Now the request has been sent back again to the back office employee to validate the request, and let's assume that the back office employee validated the request and sent it back for payment. We will find here that the request is pending on payment, so that the citizen can go to the service. We will find a new tab here called Payments. These are the fees are listed here. These are the details of the fees, and this is the total amount. In this case, the citizen will go to Pay Fees, and definitely in that case, we will have an integration with the online payment gateway so that users can go directly to the online payment and enter his credit card details to complete the payment transaction. But for the sake of the demo, we skip this part. So once the user will click on Pay Fees, the request will be completed successfully. Let's as well go to the requests. As we mentioned here, these are the draft requests so that the user can go at any point of time and complete the missing details. And let's take a scenario, for example, that the request has been completed, and let's see what the citizen will get on the system. This is an approved request or a completed request. So definitely the output of a service will most probably be something like a license, a certificate, and this is configured according to the service type. So in our case, this is a new commercial license. So the output of the completion of the service will be the license itself. Once the user click on request output, he will find a generated file from the system called the commercial license, and this is the commercial license itself. We have an option as well, just in case if the governmental entity has a mandate that the citizen has to go to the customer service center to get the physical copy of the commercial license. In that case, the user can go and book an appointment from here to pick the physical copy of the commercial license. Let's take another scenario regarding the appointments. We have completed now the part related to the self-service portal for the eServices part, and now we are going to take a scenario for the appointment. So let's assume that the user wants to book 2 appointments, and both of them are at the same day. Here you will find all actually the service catalog for the appointments. Like for example, we might have a service called Pay Credit Card, and in this case, the user can go to the website online, fill in all the details, and submit the request, and then go to the customer service center physically to complete the payment and pay physically at the customer service center. So if this is the case, the user can select the Pay Credit Card service. And as well, let's say that the user has some inquiries related to the investment opportunities that they have in country. So we will select another service. Once both services are selected, we will find them here. The system is waiting the citizen to select the location where he would like to get the service. Once we click on select branch, these are the customer service centers that are configured and allowed for this service type. So for example, paying the credit card may be allowed only in these 4 customer service centers and not allowed in other customer service centers. These are all configurations that exist in the system, and based on that, the customer service centers appear here. So let's select the downtown branch and then click on save. And for the other service, let's select another location. Because actually we have selected the downtown branch here, we will find that the system by default added the downtown branch as a quick shortcut to the list here, because most probably if you are going to take 2 appointments at the same day, probably you will go to the same branch. Let's in this case select online to see the difference between the physical meetings and the online meetings, and then click on next. The system in this case will show all the available time slots we have in the system. So for the payment by credit card and the investment inquiries, for example, it's available on Tuesday at some time slots and available on Wednesday in some time slots. If I don't want to go in May, I would like to go in another month, I can change the month from here, or I can change the data unit. So let's select the first service. In this case, the system will ask me about the exact time that I would like to get this service. I would select 8 a.m. and then click on done, and select the second service at the same day. And in this case, let's select 11 a.m. and then click on done. Now we have completed all the inputs that are required by the system. We have selected the service, we have selected the branch, and we have selected the date and the time slot. Once we confirm the appointment, the system generates a QR code so that it can be used later by the citizen when he will go to the customer service center to check in and go inside the customer service center. You can click on enlarge to see the QR code, or you can save it as image to your mobile phone. As for the online appointment, all what you need in this case is a a link to Microsoft Teams link, and the link exists here. You can copy the link, and definitely the user will receive an email with all these details so that he can get back to them later. frame and get back again to the workspaces. Once the appointments are selected, we will find here when we go to the home screen that we have something called the scan QR code, so that the user can go to the home screen and scan the QR code at the customer service center. So when the citizen will go to the customer service center, all what he need to do is to scan the QR code, so that he will be able to check in inside the customer service center and take a number in the queue. And actually, as we mentioned at the beginning, the system is available on mobile devices and on laptops. So while the user is waiting at the customer service center through his mobile application, he will be able to check the queue number, and he will be able to go to the customer service center when his turn comes. Now I'm done with the demo. Hope it was clear. Asir, the floor is yours. You can continue.
Asir, you are muted.
Yes. Thanks, Ahmed. It was a very good demo, and it was very concise, straight to the point, and it touched base on some of the aspects that we discussed in earlier sessions. So accordingly, just we're going to be having the last session, which is going to be the panel question discussions and question Q&A. If any of the attendees want to ask any other questions, please do, just raise your hand, as we just mentioned. The first question I'm going to be asking my guests in the panel. So, how does Microsoft technology support the platform vision and the business requirements? How you see it fit? How all the partners of technology fit together?
Okay, so thanks, Asir. Look, if we can be close to all the development that's happening across all Microsoft cloud solutions and platform, you will always see a continuous improvements in terms of services, features, products, capabilities, to cater for all those increasing business requirements, especially around all data, AI, privacy, compliance, because this is a big demand across all the different government entities. We are investing a lot of effort through our data experts and the team who is supporting government, setting the draft regulations on the usage of data and privacy laws, although on putting the right integration layer. We will see most recently how this can be integrated easily with any technology providers, with Microsoft GitHub, for example, with open source solutions, how we can invest together with our partners in building platforms and solutions that properly integrated with the existing customers and government solutions to make sure that we are utilizing their existing IT investments to the maximum. We have set some priorities, and the priorities has been identified not by Microsoft themselves only, but it's coming from the clear business requirement coming from citizens and governments to build the right digital capability and digital skills to utilize and adopt those provided solutions.
Ahmed,
Yeah.
what is the platform? How it supports it?
Okay, actually, we utilized Microsoft technologies to leverage the solution capabilities that is based on .NET Core and hosted on Azure. So we use Azure for the core components. So we used some technologies like Azure SQL, Data Factory, Azure Machine Learning, App Service, Azure Web Application Firewall, and VNet. For the reports and dashboards, the solution is built on top of Power BI. For the employee mobility, it's based on Power Apps, Canvas apps. For the external entities portal, it's based on Power Apps portal. And for the integration and data import, we utilized the RPA robotics process automation.
Great. That seems a little bit more everything over the menu. So moving to the next question. Can you please shed more light on the accessibility, mobility, and dashboard features for the eServices transformation platform?
I guess this question for Ahmed, right, Asser?
Yes, I just needed your input first. What should the platform provide in terms of accessibility, mobility, and dashboard features? And I'm going to be asking Ahmed to show us how the platform actually do.
Look, as I mentioned, we have a diverse profile of citizens who are engaged to obtain a specific government services. In the same time, government has a clear mandate with regards to specific sustainability solutions where they can save the planet resources. And the good things about all what has been presented today is leverage the power of cloud, provide solutions to every different diversified citizen profile, whether they are people with mobility issues, disability issues, people who has some hearing issues, sight issues. So the good things here that you are able to reach your service to every single citizen profile. This is from one side. From the omni-channel perspective and the mobility side, you have touched point on every single omni-channel and digital channel where you can connect and integrate with the citizens. And even leveraging the disruptive technology through augmented and mixed reality to provide more enhanced customer experience and citizen experience through those services. All those type of accessibilities, mobility, and insights for the business decision makers to make sure that they are looking at the performance improvements and productivity of their teams and have a clear insights about the quality of service provided to the citizens has been integrated properly based on the right standards on the right digital platform that can provide you with a continuous improvement and enhancements that maintain the innovation and the value creation across all the different services for the citizens. Maybe we are fully aware and acquainted of how many government citizen services we have right now in any government. But maybe after 3-5 years, there is a new services will be required. How we can build a platform that can maintain a continuous improvement without starting from scratch again or back to square one, but it's a capitalizing on what the government has invested and building on top of that.
Thank you.
Okay, the solution has a native and progressive mobile apps for citizens and employees. Citizens will be able to do everything from the mobile app. As you can see on the right, this is the home screen that contains the service catalogs and the appointment. Furthermore, if you are waiting in the queue, the mobile app will show you your number in the queue after checking in. The workspaces are there in the mobile app as well to show all the requests, tasks, upcoming appointments, as well as submitting a new request and booking a new appointment. In regards to the dashboards and reports, the system is equipped with a dashboards and reports package that would enable the governmental entities to have the full data insights from all the dimensions. So we have dashboards for the customers, requests, payment transactions, services SLA, customer satisfactions, employee utilization, productivity, and response time, in addition to the system behavior analytics. In regards to the accessibility feature, yes, the system supports the accessibility features. Let me show you some of these features in the demo. When you click here on the settings, you will find, for example, a feature to increase the font and change the context. So these are an example of some of the accessibility features that had been built already inside the platform.
That's great. Given the time factors, how can customers guarantee a faster time to market with ServeBig?
Actually, this is a very good question. The answer is a bit long. I will try to summarize it as possible. As we have explained since we started the webinar today, the system is equipped with multiple features and components that would accelerate the delivery of the service. And actually, the two main components that would help in that is the workflow engine. The workflow engine has a visual process designer with drag and drop features. It also has out-of-the-box features for the SLA, escalation, delegation, and task dispatching. It has as well an administration panel to control the processes, tasks, instances, and users. This is an example of workflow. As you can see here, this is the workflow designer. The back office employee would be able to drag and drop the activities to the workflow designer to build the workflow easily and quickly. Another important factor is the format designer. So in any e-service, if you are gonna digitize the service and go online, you have to take the application form and transform it into digital. So the format designer helps you to do that using more than 30 controls that comes out of the box with the solution. You will be able to drag and drop the controls that already exist and apply whatever customizations for the branding, look and feel to get the form that you would like to have. Even though the platform has all these capabilities, but the governmental entities face other challenges. It actually takes quite some time to meet the business users, gather and approve the requirements of a business process, along with the business rules and integration requirements. That's why the complete digitization of a business process may take a considerable amount of time. So Link Development has prepared a ready-made workflow template as a jump start to go live quickly. Simply, we give the governmental entities employees a set of features so that they can submit any request without having to automate the whole workflow. So, for example, if we have an employee, he will have all these features, and in that case, he will be able to complete the request normally. So first of all, the employee will review the request, and you will have the option to approve the request and set the payment amount manually. He has the option to reject the request. He has the option to add comments and attachments, then submit the request back to the applicant, or he can assign the same request to another employee. And when the next employee will take the request, he will have the same exact features, so he will be able to do any of these transactions. By this way, you don't have to develop a separate workflow for each business process, and you can go live quickly. Later on, you can do the full workflow implementation to have a process governance and clear service license agreement for the whole cycle.
That's great. That actually puts everything into perspective. Moving to the fourth question is that Is this solution limited only to Microsoft technology from an integration perspective? No. Can this platform be integrated with any other technology?
Yeah, actually, as you know, systems cannot run in isolation, so definitely integrations are important. The solution is based on Microsoft technologies, and all the features can be exposed using web APIs in JSON format. Accordingly, it can integrate with any other external system that is either based on Microsoft or non-Microsoft technologies. These are some of the examples that we have in the solution. So ServeBig integrates with Dynamics 365 for the case management, with Dynamics AX for synchronizing the payment transactions, and definitely for the online payment. This is in addition to other non-Microsoft systems that we may integrate with.
Great. One last question. How we can get more detailed information about the solution? What is the time frame for the solution? How we can organize for the next meeting? I think I'm going to be answering this one. So there's a lot of ways to get more information about the solution and about this presentation in particular. First of all, we'll be sending you an email with the link code very quickly. You can go and watch more detail, have more information on the website, link development on the survey too. If you needed to have an arrange private demo or arrange for a one-to-one meeting to discuss more details about, just send us an email on survey@linkdev.com. I think this concludes our session. Finally, I want to thank my guest, Mr. Mazen. Thank you. Your valuable information has been quite fruitful for this webinar.
Thank you, Asser. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for having me with you.
It's our pleasure, sir. And Ahmed Abdelhamid, thanks for attending the session and the crucial demo. It's quite interesting, and I think a lot of the people are interested to explore more about this topic. Thanks all.
Thank you.